Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking you on a journey into the world of online privacy, exploring a project called AnyOne and their intriguing documentation, AnyOne Docs. Now you're probably thinking, another privacy solution. Haven't we heard it all before? But trust me, AnyOne is trying to do something different, something game-changing. They're not just building a tool, they're building a whole new layer of the internet, designed with privacy at its core.
What's fascinating here is that AnyOne recognizes the growing concerns around online privacy and the limitations of existing solutions like VPNs. They're not just trying to be a better VPN, they're aiming for something much more ambitious.
Right. And AnyOne Docs doesn't shy away from the problem. They state pretty clearly
Yeah.
that the widely accepted internet privacy solution VPNs simply shift the bottleneck and still log user activity, exposing users to hacks and leaks.
Huh.
So right off the bat, they acknowledge the elephant in the room, so to speak.
That's right. And that sets the stage for their approach, which is built on this idea of a decentralized privacy network. They call it the DPIN privacy layer. And it's essentially a network of computers distributed globally, all working together to route your internet traffic, but not controlled by any single entity.
Okay, so instead of my data going directly from my computer to, say, my favorite online store, it gets bounced around this network of computers.
Exactly. Think of it like a community garden, where everyone contributes to growing fresh produce. But instead of vegetables, we're cultivating privacy, everyone chips in, making it much harder to track where the data came from or where it's going.
That makes sense. But how does that actually protect my data from prying eyes?
Well, that's where onion routing comes in. Imagine trying to track someone's online activity. When their data is bouncing through a random network of computers around the world, each layer encrypted like a digital puzzle box. It's practically impossible. Each computer only knows where the data came from and where it's going next, not the ultimate origin or destination.
So it's like a secret message being passed from person to person. And each person only knows the person before them and after them, not the sender or the final recipient.
That's a great analogy. And this makes it incredibly difficult for anyone to trace your online activity back to you. It's a level of privacy that traditional VPNs just can't match.
This all sounds impressive, but let's be realistic. For this whole system to work, you need a lot of people running these relay points right, and that takes a lot of bandwidth and resources. How do they incentivize people to participate?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. They've created this clever system called Proof-of-Uptime rewards. Imagine you have a spare computer at home with a stable internet connection. You can easily set up an AnyOne relay and start earning tokens just by keeping it online.
So wait, you're telling me I can earn cryptocurrency just by running this relay on my computer?
It's a passive way to contribute to a more private internet and earn rewards at the same time. They call it Proof-of-Uptime because the longer you keep your relay running and contributing bandwidth, the more tokens you earn. It's a win-win.
This proof-of-uptime system sounds great in theory, but how do they prevent malicious actors from gaming the system and earning rewards without actually contributing to the network?
That's a crucial consideration for any decentralized network. They've implemented various security measures, including node vetting processes and reputation systems that track the reliability and trustworthiness of each relay operator.
So it's not just about being online. It's about being a reliable and contributing member of the network. That makes a lot of sense. Now, for someone like me who's not exactly a tech whiz, how easy is it to get involved? Do I have to be a coding expert to set up a relay and start earning these rewards?
Not at all. They offer several ways to connect to the AnyOne network, catering to different levels of technical expertise. They have easy-to-follow guides for setting up a relay on various operating systems, like Windows, Mac OS, and Linux.
So even someone who's not super tech savvy can contribute to this privacy network and potentially earn rewards.
Absolutely. They seem to be prioritizing accessibility and ease of use. They even offer a one-click setup option for certain operating systems, making it super simple for anyone to get involved.
Okay, so we've got this decentralized network of computers bouncing my data around, making it virtually untraceable. And we've got people like me potentially running relays and earning rewards for contributing to the network's security and bandwidth. It's all starting to come together now.
But we've only scratched the surface. There's a lot more to uncover about the AnyOne ecosystem, including how this token fits into the picture and what other features and functionalities they offer.
I'm already intrigued. Let's keep diving deeper into this world of AnyOne and see what other fascinating details we can unearth from their documentation. All right, so we've established that AnyOne is aiming to revolutionize online privacy with its decentralized network and clever incentivization system. But now I'm curious about the brains behind the operation. The AnyOne token.
Ah, yes, the fuel that keeps this engine running. The AnyOne token plays a vital role in the ecosystem. It's used to reward those relay operators we talked about, those who contribute their bandwidth to the network.
So it's like a direct thank you for helping make the internet a more private place.
Exactly. But it goes beyond just rewards. The AnyOne token also grants holders governance voting rights.
Hold on, governance voting rights. You're telling me that just by holding these tokens, I could have a say in the direction of the entire AnyOne project?
That's the beauty of decentralization. It's not just about using the network. It's about being a part of it, shaping its future. And the AnyOne token is your ticket to participate in that process.
Wow, that's pretty empowering. It reminds me of those early internet forums where users could directly contribute to the development of platforms. Except this time, it's not just about suggesting features, it's about having a real stake in the decision-making process.
Precisely. And the token also has utility within the AnyOne ecosystem. For example, it can be used to access premium features, kind of like a VIP pass to enhanced privacy and performance.
Ah, the premium circuits they mentioned in the documentation. I was wondering about those. What kind of premium features are we talking about?
Well, imagine having access to dedicated nodes, guaranteeing you faster speeds, and potentially even location-specific routing. Think of it like choosing first class on a flight. You get a more personalized and enhanced experience.
So it's like a tiered system
Yeah.
where everyone benefits from the basic level of privacy, but those who need or want an extra boost can opt for these premium features.
Exactly. And it's important to note that these premium features are completely optional. The core network is still accessible to everyone, ensuring that privacy remains a fundamental right, not a luxury.
That's great to hear. I'm all for making privacy accessible to all. But this brings up a question. If everyone used the free version, could the network still thrive? I mean, running these relays and developing new features must cost money.
That's a valid concern. And it's where the multi-tiered approach comes in. Remember the proof-of-uptime rewards we discussed earlier? They incentivize node operators to keep the system running smoothly, forming the backbone of the network. The premium features, funded by the AnyOne token, act as an additional revenue stream to support further development, innovation, and network expansion.
So it's like a symbiotic relationship. The basic layer ensures accessibility for everyone, while the premium features contribute to the long-term sustainability and growth of the network. Pretty clever.
Indeed. It's a model that balances the ideals of open access and financial stability. It allows anyone to stay true to its mission of democratizing privacy,
Yeah.
while also ensuring its longevity.
Okay, so we've covered the tokenomics, the rewards, the premium features, but now I'm curious about the actual user experience. What's it like to connect to the AnyOne network?
Well, they seem to have gone to great lengths to make the onboarding process as smooth as possible, which is crucial for mainstream adoption. Remember those one-click setup guides we mentioned? They offer those for both Windows and macOS, making it incredibly simple for the average user to get started.
That's good news for someone like me who's more comfortable clicking buttons than tinkering with command lines. But what about people who are more tech-savvy? Maybe even a little paranoid about security. Are there options for them too?
Absolutely. They also offer the option of connecting to the network through hardware, which adds an extra layer of security. This isolates the privacy functionality on a dedicated device, making it even harder for potential attackers to compromise your connection.
So it's like having a little privacy fortress protecting your online activity.
That's a good way to put it. They've clearly thought about multiple use cases and levels of security, giving users the flexibility to choose what works best for them.
You know, one thing that stood out to me throughout our deep dive is the emphasis on community and transparency in AnyOne docs.
Yes, that's a refreshing aspect of this project. They have a dedicated section in their documentation about community and customer support, with links to their forum, Discord server, and social media channels. They seem to be actively fostering a sense of collaboration and shared ownership.
It's almost like they're building a movement, not just a company. It creates a sense of trust and accountability, knowing that there's a vibrant community behind the project, a community that's passionate about online privacy and willing to help each other navigate this new landscape.
And they even have a section on governance voting, further emphasizing the role of the community in shaping the future of the project. Token holders can actively participate in decision-making processes, ensuring that the project remains aligned with the values of its users.
This is giving me some serious early internet vibes, back when online communities felt more collaborative and less corporate. It's exciting to see that spirit being revived in a project like this.
It's certainly a departure from the centralized, data-hungry model that dominates much of the internet today. AnyOne is trying to offer a different path, a path where users have more control, more agency, and more say in how their data is used.
Speaking of offering a different path, I noticed they have sections in their documentation dedicated to developers and their SDK. What's that all about?
Ah, the SDK. That's where things get really interesting for the tech-minded folks out there. It essentially allows developers to integrate the AnyOne protocol directly into their applications, adding a layer of privacy without having to reinvent the wheel.
So instead of relying on traditional, potentially less private methods, developers can now tap into this decentralized network and offer enhanced privacy features within their apps.
Exactly. Imagine a future where all our favorite apps, from messaging platforms to social networks, have built-in privacy features powered by AnyOne. It's a pretty compelling vision.
It's almost like they're not just building a product, they're building a foundation for a more private internet as a whole.
Right.
And that's pretty incredible if you ask me.
It's a bold ambition, but they seem to be backing it up with solid technology, a well-thought-out tokenomics model, and a genuine commitment to community involvement.
We've covered a lot of ground here, but I have a feeling there's still more to uncover. What else have you found intriguing in AnyOne docs?
Well, there are a few more fascinating details I'd like to delve into, particularly around the concept of reward multipliers and how they impact the incentivization system for relay operators.
Ooh, reward multipliers. Now that sounds intriguing. Let's dive into that next and see what other gems we can unearth from AnyOne docs. Welcome back to our deep dive into AnyOne docs. We've gone over the decentralized network, the clever tokenomics, user experience, and emphasis on community. But there's one more piece I'm eager to understand. Those reward multipliers you mentioned?
Yes, the reward multipliers. They add a fascinating layer to the proof-of-uptime rewards. Remember how we talked about earning tokens for running a relay and contributing bandwidth? Well, it's not just about how long you're online. It's also about the quality and strategic value of the connection you provide.
Okay, so it's not just about participation. It's about strategic participation. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Think of it this way. A relay located in a remote or underserved area might be more valuable to the network than one in a densely populated area with lots of existing nodes. So the AnyOne protocol takes factors like location, bandwidth capacity, and even the length of time a node has been consistently active into account when calculating rewards.
So they're encouraging people to think strategically about where and how they contribute to the networks. It's like a game of online privacy chess.
That's a great way to put it. And it makes a lot of sense. By incentivizing users to set up relays in areas where they're most needed, AnyOne can ensure a more balanced and robust network, reaching even the most remote corners of the internet.
It's like they're building a global web of privacy, with each relay operator playing a crucial role in strengthening the overall fabric. It's pretty amazing to think about.
It really is. And this approach not only benefits the network as a whole, but also rewards those who are going the extra mile to contribute strategically. They're essentially incentivizing thoughtful participation, which is essential for the long-term health and resilience of any decentralized system.
This makes me think about the bigger picture. We've talked about how AnyOne empowers individuals to take control of their online privacy. But what about the broader societal impact? Could a project like this actually shift the balance of power on the internet?
That's a question worth pondering. Right now, so much of the internet is controlled by a handful of large corporations who collect and monetize our data. AnyOne is proposing a different model, a model where individuals have more agency and control over their digital footprint.
It's like a grassroots movement for online privacy, a way for people to collectively reclaim their data and say, we're not just data points, we're individuals with rights.
Exactly. And if enough people embrace this vision and participate in networks like AnyOne, it could create a real paradigm shift in how the internet operates. It's about moving away from this culture of surveillance and exploitation and toward a more ethical and equitable digital landscape.
It's inspiring to think about the possibilities, but let's be realistic. It's going to take a lot more than just a few tech-savvy individuals running relays to truly change the internet. What are your thoughts on the challenges and opportunities ahead for a project like AnyOne?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is awareness. Most people are still unaware of the extent to which their data is being collected and how it's being used. So a key step is education, helping people understand the importance of online privacy and the alternatives available to them.
That's where projects like AnyOne need to excel at communication, not just with developers and tech enthusiasts, but with everyday internet users. They need to make privacy accessible and understandable, not intimidating or overwhelming.
Absolutely. They need to meet people where they are, speak their language, and show them how participating in a network like this can directly benefit their lives.
It's about making privacy tangible, relatable,
Yeah.
and empowering. It's about showing people that they're not just passive consumers of technology, but active participants in shaping the digital world they want to live in.
And that's a powerful message, one that resonates with the growing desire for more control, more transparency, and more accountability online.
It's been an incredible journey exploring AnyOne Docs with you. We've gone from the technical intricacies of onion routing to the philosophical implications of a more decentralized internet. It's clear that this project is about so much more than just offering a privacy tool. It's about building a movement, a community, a vision for a different kind of online future.
And it's a future that we can all be a part of, whether you're a developer, a tech enthusiast, or simply someone who cares about online privacy. There's a role to play in shaping this new landscape.
So to everyone listening, we encourage you to check out AnyOne Docs for yourself. Dive into the details, explore the technology, and imagine the possibilities. Who knows? You might just find yourself inspired to join the movement for a more private, more equitable, and more empowering internet.
It's an exciting time to be exploring these new frontiers of online privacy, and who knows what other groundbreaking innovations await us in the years to come.
That's the beauty of the deep dive. There's always more to discover, more to learn, and more to discuss. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of AnyOne. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay private.